All right, y'all. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We're so excited to be here to celebrate the Councilwoman Shameka Parrish-Wright. All right, that is community, right? Because we all know that we are part of the District 3 office of Louisville Metro Council. I am Attica and I am honored to have helped to organize this with the amazing Aide, Baltimore, and Ben Harlan. And of course, shout out to Dre Dawson, who, along with Ben Harlan, were Councilwoman's co-campaign managers. And of course, the Councilwoman's amazing family is here, her daughters, her husband, one of her grandbabies. This is beautiful. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for sharing your mama with us. We appreciate you so much. So we wanted to open it up first with thanking Shiveley's Mayor Johnson for opening up the building to us to be able to use today to celebrate Councilwoman Parrish-Wright. And just for the record, all of us who are her family and friends should be referring to her in public as Councilwoman Parrish-Wright. It does not diminish our relationship with her, but it shows everyone else that we value and respect her role, and she will be referred to just like every other elected official is referred to, Councilwoman. We wanted to start with having a few folks who want to say a few words to the Councilwoman to come up. So if you feel so moved, we'll have maybe 3 to 5 people share, and then I'll turn it over to the amazing Ben to share his own stories about the Councilwoman. So does anyone want to come up and share or say a few words to Councilwoman Parrish-Wright?
Chef Annie.
I was going to say, when I am not serving chicken. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Annie O'Connell, and as Attica kindly introduced me, I am a circuit court judge here in Jefferson County. And one of the reasons that I am here in this room today is because I am a judge, in part, in large part, in huge part, thanks to now Councilwoman Shameka Parrish-Wright. I'm trying to think how much to get into this story, but right behind Shameka, I have Carla Wallace, who I approached early on in my campaign and asked to be my campaign treasurer, and she basically said, yes, but you need to talk to Shameka. And I took that as I will help so long as Shameka is on board. And I had never met Shameka before, but thanks to Carla, I reached out to her, and Shameka and I met for coffee. And that first day in 2017, I think we talked for hours. I mean, we connected instantly, and it was obvious to me that Shameka is something and someone special, so special. So our history continued on my campaign, and there are a couple of things that I learned, and I'm so grateful and so thankful that she and I got to know each other and become the friends that we are today through that experience. One of the things that I learned about Shameka is how tireless she is. I see every single person nodding their head and went, yes. If only I had a fraction of the energy that Councilwoman Parrish-Wright has, if only all of us did, the world would be a very different place. The things that Shameka accomplishes through her personal life, her family, the causes that she's passionate about, the community, I cannot, and you can tell I'm struggling, I cannot put into words the energy and the passion that I have seen Shameka bring to literally everything that she does. And when she shows up, she shows up. No matter where she is present, she is there, she is fully immersed and fully connected to what she is doing. And that's another word that keeps coming to mind as I think about Shameka is connection. It's been rare to meet someone in my life who is as connected and is as good at connecting people as Shameka is. And this is one of the reasons we are so lucky to have her as a council member, because our community needs connection, right? She just has the ability to help others understand themselves better, express themselves better, advocate for themselves, and to get involved and to be committed. And I mean, what great qualities to have in a council member. That's who we want making our laws, right? So, Shameka, I've said this to you already. I am so proud of you. I can't thank you enough for everything that you have done for me, but the tables are now turned. I'm so excited to be up here celebrating you and your accomplishments and lifting up your leadership. We are so lucky to have you, Shameka, Councilwoman. I know, it's so fun.
So Shameka and I go way back, and I know her work in the community has been very valid, and I know that she is going to present herself in a way that she's going to make sure, Shiley's in my district. I used to be mayor, first council, mayor, and now state rep. And so I know that Shameka has the best interest of her community, and I'm really looking forward to, I already got some ideas going on for her and I to work together on as relates to the area in which we serve. And I really believe that she's going to be the type of person that's going to make sure she's going to put people first. That's right. Politics last, people first. And I believe she's that type of individual. And I'm so looking forward to the two of us having conversations about how we can move our area forward that's in the best interest of what the community wants. Not personal, but for the community as a whole. And I believe that you will do that. And we've had multiple conversations about what your vision is, and I know that you are on board on making sure that your district is one that you want to make sure that it's going to be moving forward. So, congrats.
I see the power of the people. Amen. When doors were closed, tried to be closed against her, the people spoke. Each and every time when they said no, the people said yes. When we was locked up together and we came out, the people was there. Because Shameka and our state representative, they said, hell no, let them go. You are a testament to the spirit of our ancestors and keeping going and staying strong. And through your storms, tribulations, whatever has happened in your life, you've always done it with faith, a strong constitution, that you believe in you and the people believe in you. So you are what we need in this generation to help us build what we need for us as a people, for our people, and especially for impacted, marginalized people. So we know you have a seat at the table. Our voices will be heard. So I'm so proud of you. Keep going. Much love and power to the people.
she wanted to serve then. And knowing all of her responsibilities, knowing her consistency, knowing her passion. I mean, I can repeat everything everybody said, but to know her on a personal level, this little set of younger sisters that I have grown to love and admire, I feel so hopeful because there's some of us that are outside the trenches looking at the work those of you that stay in the trenches are doing, and we're very concerned because Democrats are not what we used to be. And it is scary how much we have strayed from democratic principles. So to have somebody like Shameka, as Rhonda said, at the table, where there's no doubt, where you know that there's no hidden personal agendas, where you know that, you know, it's not quid pro quo with somebody with money. I'm so excited about that. I may not sound like it now because I'm afraid of how outnumbered you are. So thank you for sacrificing all you have to get here. And I say that to all of you, you know, including you, Attica, who still speak truth to power, no matter what, and keep the people in mind. There are those of us that appreciate you at a level so deep you just do not know. So thank you for all you do and the light you shine.
Okay, I know she's here looking over us, so I'm going to bring Ann Braden over. Long-time white Southern civil rights activist who, over 20 years ago, said to me, there's this young, new, black leader in the Kentucky Alliance, and she needs some support because this stuff is rough in these movement organizations. And Shameka and I started meeting, I think, once a week in the deli, and all kind of stuff we would talk about. But what was so clear to me is what everybody else here has said is Shameka's commitment to the people, and to what Attica said too, an understanding that it takes the people organized to create the power so that those folks who get in, who we want to govern, have the ability to do things. And it's on us to build that support for Shameka and to elect other people to stand with her now that she's there. That's the organizing we need. Because sometimes in the movement we think, oh, let's elect some people, and then good, we did that. It's on us to create the conditions in which they can actually make a difference. So that's community organizing. Frederick Douglass said, power concedes nothing without a demand. Never did and never will. That's the organizing we have to do in order to push the rest of that group up there to do things that matter, that we know Shameka has long championed. Shameka's not one of those elected officials who comes to you and says, hey, I want to do something good, give me some money. You know that happens to me a lot. Shameka is a candidate who is already doing those things in the trenches, and like Bonnie said, prioritizing, and like Rhonda said, prioritizing those on the margins who are pushed out, lied about, lied to, and who we all need together to unify with for the vision that will free us all.
I'm so excited about this next journey, Shameka, and supporting you in it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to even speak about you, Shameka. I just want to say God is so good in here. And I just know that, and there's just, when Aide was talking about the light, you are a light, Shameka. And you need to change the name in your phone underneath. But my name is Aide Baltimore. I met Shameka on the campaign trail when Annie was running for judge. And I remember hearing that Annie has this new campaign manager, and her name is Shameka Parrish-Wright. And I was like, and I looked her up and researched, and I was like, this is a black woman. And then I was like, oh, this is wonderful. And then Shameka and I became very close. And one thing about Shameka, she saves me in her phone as Annie's friend. That's my name in her phone. And I'm just so grateful to know you and to know your kids, Zakaria. And you know she's on her phone right now. And and Shamari and Damiana and all your kids and James, and you are such a light, and it's a blessing to have someone like you on council, because you put other people's needs before your own kids, because I went up to her kids and I was like, how do y'all feel about your mom having to put, the community first sometimes? And they said, we've gotten used to it, but it was tough. And I've never met anybody like you. And I'm so grateful to call you my friend. And I'm sorry I couldn't help you campaign for mayor or as councilwoman, because I'm one of the attorneys for the city, and so it was a conflict of interest. I wasn't permitted to do that, but I'm so grateful to celebrate you today. Thank you. And break chicken.
And I'm changing your name. Me and Annie's friend.
I need to say this. Because when I was looking to find people to serve on committees when I was mayor, it was a struggle. And I'm thinking, I got this committee, and And so, when I needed people for the Civil Service Board, I told Shameka, I said, I know you're going to hold people accountable. And I know if you do this, then I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to be a micromanager. But I need you to consider being on my Civil Service Board, because I know at that time we had a lot of things going on in the city. Yes, Breonna Taylor, all of that. And I said, I don't think it's going to take a lot of your time, but I just know that I need to have the right people. And I know that you are going to make sure that they are doing things by the book. Will you do this? And she stepped up. And so I left that out my last conversation, so I just want to make sure you know that in her own community in Shively, as she is a resident, that she did step up when I needed her to hold my people accountable for civil service issues, and she stepped up.
And tell them what was the primary thing I had to do. So in 2020, after being at Justice Square, I met her here. I was sworn in right in front of these words right here. And then my new duties were to approve new police officers for Shively and firemen. And I said, so I'm leaving the park fighting the corruption of the police to come here and approve the police officers that nobody had out here.
Thank you, Representative Scott. If I ask you all today if you know what I mean when I say, oh, they speak Shameka, think about what that means. And that is something the Councilwoman has said to me, oh, he speaks Shameka. And if you know her, you know to sit and talk with her is to feel like you are the only person in the room, right? If you know you have a conversation with her, she is there, she is with you, but and you kind of set me up put me after all these people. I just, again, echo what everybody says about being grateful to have the opportunity to know you and work with you. It has been probably the privilege of my life so far to be able to work with you and learn so much from you and all of your activism. And the past couple of weeks have been the past couple of weeks, some late nights, learning some interesting things, and I could not imagine doing this or working for the city of Louisville without your guidance and your leadership, and I'm just so grateful to you, as I'm sure everyone in this room is.
A lot more, thank you.
Give us some tea.
You could have told other things. I'm happy with what you said.
Oh, okay. Well, because I'm trying not to spill your tea for real. But, we have a good time. We cut up in the office, we talk our shit, it's fun. Because up in council, like Miss Bonnie was saying, like Miss Rhonda has said, those people aren't here for us for real. Some people that work, well, let me not. But it's been really a great experience to go from campaign and what that is to what it means to be in city council, and I can see how easy it is to fall into these patterns of corruption. Like, oh, you can't do this, that's an ethics rule, or you can't do that, that's an ethics rule. When it might be an ethics rule for the council, but what does it mean for the people if we can't support someone over a sitting Democratic candidate when we know their challenger would be better for the city? What does that mean? So navigating that and just learning everything I can from you and having fun. We have fun, but again, I ain't gonna spill your tea up here. This ain't the venue. But thank you for the opportunity, and I love you deep.
Before I bring up the councilwoman, I do have to say that it has been the absolute joy of my life to watch your journey, and I'm not gonna cry.
Let it out. Let it out.
We've not been able to pay our gas and light bills and water bills and spend the night at each other's homes when it was cold and our babies needed somewhere to sleep. We traveled this country together, been everywhere, shutting it down everywhere. And Shameka's been an auntie to my babies. And she's been an auntie to our community. She was taking care of us before 2020. 2020 gave her the platform other people needed to see about who she is and how she cares deeply about all of us. And as everyone has said, Councilwoman, you have sacrificed so much. And I guess I forgive you for not telling me when we were right next door to one another that you were going to run for mayor. And instead decided to post it on Instagram, even though we literally were like right next to each other. But that's okay. She does it. She got mad because, the other police chief was terrible. And decided she was going to run. And like her daughter and I were like right there. But that's okay though. That's okay though. Because we support you anyway. And one day I look forward to calling you Mayor Parrish-Wright. Because our city deserves that. And when you're in the halls and in the building of Metro Hall and you are doing the work of District 3 on Louisville Metro Council, remember all the people here today, remember all the people who've been there with you. Think about the people you don't know, who you may never know, who support you and are sending you good love and positive energy. Carry that with you when you're making tough decisions, when you're sometimes taking a vote where you might be the only no. That's okay because you're not there to vote with everybody else. You weren't elected to do that. You were elected to stand up, speak out, show up for your people right here in District 3. So I want to bring up the Councilwoman Shameka Parrish-Wright.
They don't know all these years. You all don't know, the people I hug, I don't get to see them as much as I see Ben and Dre and Attica. We hug all the time. But there was a long time I knew this was my sister. And we would be in these moments after an action or before we did something, and it was almost there to go hug, but we both stood still and we just, I don't know if we were standing on business or pride or what, but we didn't hug. And now, to be able to hug, that's a serious thing. I didn't grow up with a lot of hugs. And when I came to Louisville, I told Carla this before, and I left a few meetings and everybody was hugging. I was just like, how do I do this? How do I get my lipstick on their shirt? And how do I And it took some time, and like, I hugged my kids and kissed them, but I didn't know how, and so the embraces in the community that I still get to this day, and that I get from all of you means so much. I carry that with me. That's the energy I need when we're fighting the hard fight. I need that. I know that's real love, so I really appreciate that. Thank you. I met many of you through either work. Randy didn't say that I met Randy while at Wayside, when Wayside was on Market Street across from the Mayan Cafe on the 3rd floor. After I slept in my car on Shelby Street for 2 nights until the family shelter had enough room, I came in and I met all these amazing people that I'm still connected to today. You know, a lot of people post who they want to be. I post exactly who I am. And I'm crazy some days, I'm outgoing, some days I'm mad and I'm sarcastic, but when you look at the people who respond and do things through that social media, those are people who knew me at every point in my life. And even beyond them, I have kids who have grown up with me. My older 3 say that they're my struggle kids. They call the younger 3 the mortgage kids. You know, they judge me on my parenting, but they know I mean well. You know, you're not the same mother at 15 as you are at 46, but I'm honored, and I do that. I live my real life. I use social media as an opportunity to share, because you don't hear from many mothers of 15 and who's a survivor of gun violence, sexual assault, who thrived through poverty, who's found their way through poverty, who's gotten married here, and we have such a blended family. And you don't always hear those stories, right? Because we're not normal. I've always been unorthodox. I've always been non-conforming. I've always been different in my family, in my friendships, in my community, but I've always cared. And everything I do is about bringing forth what I can be, flaws and all, and to use that. So it was important for me to tell the story, to show the trials and tribulations of running for office as a black woman in the gateway to the South, a poor black woman. Because let's be clear, some of the people who didn't know how to support me, it was a class issue for them. And some of them looked like me. They didn't see themselves in these seats, so they couldn't see me in those seats. And so it was important for me to show them that there is a way, that's what our participatory democracy is about. We want leadership that is homegrown, that has been there and done that and got the t-shirt. And that's what we are seeing when the people who go out and vote are usually the people who try to keep up and pay attention, but we're losing at the masses. We're losing a lot of people who don't connect to our work because they don't see themselves. So it's important that, I'm not saying be as vulnerable with me because I'm a lot, but I'm saying share your story, share your path, because you don't know who's watching you, who's paying attention, who wants to do this work. And I would say that our District 3 team with Ben and Dre, we are an unlikely trio. We're all so different, but we all approach the work and being engaged in so many different ways. So it's important for them to see their generations. I'm 46, Ben I thought he acts like he's 30, but he's 26. And Dre is just turned 40. And we've lived these amazing lives, and our lenses are so different on some things. But when we come together and we're talking about doing what's right for the people, we're all on one accord. And that's the kind of movement that I've been trying to be a part of. I've been trying to nurture and create and build. And if you give me a bunch of rocks, I'm still gonna do something with that. But you're right, when the Justice for Breonna Taylor movement happened, I was called. I was just picking my brother up from his 10-year sentence in Ohio with my daughter Shamari. And I got a call that said, we need to do something. See, those are the people that you don't hear about in the news, the people who people call to get something done, or they need to connect to a group or a community, or they need to raise money. I'm that person who's been answering that call over and over again. But when you're running for office, you have to talk about that stuff. You have to give your resume over and over again. But I wanted to get here today and tell you that I was a 15-year-old mother who went to school, went to night school, who left school because I had to become an emancipated teen so I can take care of my daughter, who got her GED and had the highest scores in the state of Ohio, who didn't have to drop out,
but I did because I needed to take care of my daughter, who when she got ready to go to college, found herself in an abusive relationship by a son of a sheriff, found herself charged with assault, charged with a felony 2 next to murder, because she picked up a weapon to fight off her her assailant. Wrote down everything that happened when the police came because I had never been in trouble in that way. Found myself with cold handcuffs on me for defending myself. And I couldn't plead self-defense because once I picked up that weapon, it changed that. I moved to Miami, Florida with my husband, and I'm 35 years old, and when they run my fingerprints, that still comes up. Me and Annie talked about this when I was working on Judge O'Connor's campaign, and I said I never got it expunged because it feels like a lie. I didn't feel like no one would ever find out, so I always led with my truth and led with what I did whatever I had to do. I took a plea deal after being in jail for 38 days, 18 years old. I still went to college. That daughter is now 31 years old with 2 kids. But if you run my fingerprints today, it's gonna tell you that's what I was charged with. And look where I'm at today.
All right.
Because of you. All I have is my truth. And it's really hard to be a woman, period. But a black woman feel like you always gotta start from behind. So when I talk to people about doing the work and working together and we get there together, I really mean that. It doesn't mean that you can't join me because your life experience was different. It means what are you gonna do now that we're connected and we need to fight for social justice? What are you gonna do now that we need to fight for the people? How are you gonna show up? My sheroes and heroes are right here in this room. And I'm honored, and I was just like, look, rain or shine, we're gonna be here today because there is nothing like Team Shameka. A lot of Team Shameka people will never show their face, but they were there. They sent me messages, they texted me, they sent donations, they took care of my kids, they fed my husband. They did so much, and then you'll never see their face. So I know that this movement is bigger than what we see in this room and what you see in front of you. But when you're on the side of righteousness, the universe will bend. Thank you for helping it bend.